All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. How is everyone doing this wonderful Sunday? Great to see familiar faces this week. Gift wrapped. Great to see you. So for those that don't know, I'm already sick again. I got sick twice in a row. It almost felt like I've been sick for like the past 2 months, because as soon as I recovered, or thought I recovered from the first one, I got sick again. So here I am. It's not totally bad. It's not nearly as bad as last time, but definitely need to take it easy. But gift wrapped is very nice, saying, "Hi Athen, hope you get well soon. Don't feel alone. My little toe is still not well. Today is my son Nicholas's birthday. Happy birthday to Nicholas, born 12/29/1989. But oh, you're not speaking with him. Well, that's very unfortunate. I hope that does change. Hope you guys can mend things there. But yeah, thank you for that gift wrapped, and Happy New Year, everybody. So it's a new year both from a Gregorian standpoint, which is on the 1st, of course, Gregorian calendar, but it is also the solar new year, because we did just have the solstice, and the first new moon will be tomorrow. Well, the first new moon for the solar year. So that's typically how I like to go about it. Some might go about it by saying that, oh, my video is too bright. Oh yeah, it is way too bright. All right, hang on one second. I don't know why it does this sometimes, but I have to... Let me see here. Oh no, it's good now. It's just delayed. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes my video settings don't fully adapt, but it should be good now. But yeah, anyways, it is a new year, both from the Gregorian sense, which will be on the 1st, but from the astrological sense. Some say that it's the solstice that is the actual new year, but I would say it's the new moon, the first new moon after the solstice. And so that would be tomorrow. So that's going to be Monday. We're going to have a new moon in Sagittarius. And just making sure my video is still going to get fixed. All right, I think it's good. Should be good. So anyways, yes, we do have this fresh new start to the year, whether you're looking at it from a traditional sense or an astrological sense. Holly, Happy New Year, Athen, and fellow Real Sky subscribers. Thank you, Holly. Great to see you. Erica, Alexandria, afternoon. Good people. Still awaiting answers concerning working from home. I'll dive into it. Waiting is the hard part. Continuing with some esoteric studies and creative life with some adjustments. Well, that's great that you're able to do those things in the meantime. And yeah, I think that's just really the energy of how things are lately, right? Just a little bit of a kind of having to be a little patient with the Mars retrograde. It's also the ending of the current lunar month. So this suggests that, we are really in the lowest energy. I would say we're in the lowest energy of the year, because the solstice is the lowest energy of the solar cycle, right? The sun being at the lowest point in the sky for the year, at least for those of us in the northern hemisphere. Of course, if you're in the southern, it would be opposite. But, solstice now, new beginnings, lowest energy for just the start of those new beginnings. But we're also at the end of the current lunar month. And so lowest energy for the month. So lowest energy of the year and lowest energy of the month combined. And you have yourself, just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And tomorrow and the coming days will likely start to feel some fresh new starts and a little bit of momentum increasing from there. Thanks for joining. Bazukov, great to see you. Thank you. Barnett, great to see you as well. Robert, thank you. Thank you for joining. Erica Alexandria says, I'm not caught up in the holiday season, but thus far the solstice is giving me a lot of good sleep and recharging for spring. That's great. And that's exactly what I should be doing. So, of course, I had readings today, which is why I'm at work. Otherwise, I probably would have rescheduled the live stream just so I can get some sleep. But since I did have all these readings, I would definitely, meet with you all. And so, of course, I'm here for that. But after this, I'm going to be definitely bunkering down. In fact, I'm probably going to take a few days off just to do that reset. Nina, great to see you. Hi, amazing souls. Sending much love to you all. To all of you, Nina says. Thank you, Nina. Aquarius Sky Clock, great to see you. Evening from England. Holly, hello from Sudbury, Ontario. Ontario, Canada. Machine, great to see you. Hey, Athen, your new mic sounds amazing. Oh, thank you. Yep, so same mic, but I got this, what do you call it, shock mount, so I can bang on the desk and move things around. You might hear the banging of the desk, but the whole mic won't rattle like it was doing last time. And then I got this mic cover so it can stop some of the pees and pops and whistles that can sometimes come through. But yeah, glad you're enjoying it, Machine. Thank you. Thank you, Joanna, Mind Mastery, for letting me know about the video being too bright. I have to check those, make sure I get into a routine of checking that next time. So Barnett says, Athen, is the new moon on the 30th conjunct Pholus? Actually, Pholus. I actually don't know. Or conjunct? If so, what say you on that? Apologies if you covered in the weekly or haven't had a chance to watch yet. Read and enjoy the newsletter. So what is Pholus? Is this a asteroid? Please let me know. Actually, I can check Prometheus. Let's see. It's probably not a common asteroid. Sort by name. No, I don't know what Pholus is. Let me know in the comment section, please. And we'll check. If it is a plot I can point. A point I can plot. April, blessings to you all. Great to see you, April. Thank you. Karmic Kerfuffle, great to see you. Hello, everyone. I hope you have time to rest and recover, Athen. Thank you. And Happy New Year, says Karmic Kerfuffle. Machine question about collective finances, specifically crypto. I heard your weekly forecast and took note that the new moon in Sagittarius, which is expansive. Would this pertain? Well, the monetary, it can. The monetary part of the chart typically is ruled by Taurus, okay? So this is where we've seen a lot of the expansion with technology. So it's very bullish. This isn't financial advice, of course, and please no one make any decisions based on what I'm saying or the astrology saying. But generally when we look at patterns, we would see that when Taurus is getting this much activity, we do tend to see a lot of expansion in the financial sectors in general. But specifically with crypto, that would be like with Uranus. So Uranus has recently entered into Taurus this year in 2024. And because Uranus is the technology planet and Taurus is more on the kind of collective material thing. So when these two planets were conjunct, this is very bullish, let's say, from a crypto standpoint. That was earlier this year. We've already seen a lot of expansion there. But I would say, some things to look out for would probably be the Jupiter direct. So Jupiter is going to go direct on February 4th, February 3rd, February 4th. So we could see maybe some expansion there. Well, then Jupiter will finish Taurus. Jupiter will be in Taurus for a few months after that. So we're looking here with Jupiter. This is Jupiter. This is Taurus. So this is Jupiter retrograde right now. So things are kind of in the back burner with some of the expansive stuff in general, but with the resources, and Jupiter will go direct February 3rd-ish and be expanding Taurus until the end of May, it looks like. Let's see exactly. Until June 5th. And but you bring up a really good point that the new moon is in Sag and Jupiter's the ruler of Sagittarius. So this new moon could be activating that Jupiter in Taurus, but it's retrograde right now. So retrograde is usually a little bit kind of a reflective kind of time period. In markets, maybe, traditionally, all of the things being equal, retracements or consolidation before potential continuation. The eclipses have also been playing a large role financially too, and with crypto as well. So we have our eclipses coming up here in March. Let's get more specific on that one. So March 14th and March 29th, those will be the eclipses. You can see them here in Prometheus, March 14th, March 29th. Those will be the last ones in the Pisces and Virgo axes. So this is where we've had pretty much every eclipse for the past 2 years has been in these constellations in true sidereal astrology. So these will be the last ones, and these have been tracking with things like crypto and others. So you can also look at these dates in terms of shifts and changes with the markets. Okay, so March 14th will be the lunar eclipse. That's going to be the lunar eclipse in Virgo. That's going to complete a lot of the things, and this isn't just financial, of course. This applies to all areas of life, but a lot of the new seeds that we saw planted in September and October, whatever the area of life is, September, October, these are going to be coming to their harvest in the March 14th lunar eclipse. And then the March 29th solar eclipse will be the new seeds being planted. That will be in Pisces there. And that's a very, very partial one. Very, very, very partial. Not a visible one, not a visible eclipse, but we still look at it astrologically because it's a new moon that's close to the nodes. Okay. But that could plant some new seeds there, all to be wrapped up by the time we do get to the autumn. So we'll have then the brand new eclipses and these new signs in Aquarius and Leo now, which will be September 7th and September 21st of 2025. Epiphi, great to see you. Love from Finland. Thank you so much. I'm feeling lucky. Good day, Athen. Happy New Year's, mate. Feel better. Thank you. Thank you very much. I should be tip-top. I think I just wasn't taking care of myself. That's the Mars retrograde right now in Cancer. Make sure you all take care of yourself, practice self-care, self-nurturance. You guys have probably heard me repeat that a million times, and here I am, overworked and getting sick. Have bliss. Great to see you. Hi, souls. Happy to be here. Great to see you. So that's a long name there. Leading with love. Cause Karma handles all for me. Hi there. I just landed on your channel. Is this Vedic or Western tropical? This is Western, but not tropical. So you have Western or Eastern techniques. So I'm using Western techniques, but unlike most in the West, I'm using the sidereal, or rather true sidereal zodiac. So that is where it's more similar to Vedic, in that Vedic uses sidereal, but we're using true sidereal, which is the actual size of the constellations, which is very different from Vedic. But these are three different things. You've got the astrological system, you've got the zodiac system, and you've got the house system. These are all independent of each other, and they can all be intertwined, intermingled, right? So astrological house system is Western astrology, zodiac system is true sidereal, and the house system I'm using is equal house, but that's just a preference. Really what this channel is about is true sidereal astrology in a Western format. But glad to have you. Hopefully that is something you're interested in, and welcome to the community if you do stick around. Have bliss. Yeah, thank you. Constellational astrology is another name. True sidereal, in that we're using the true visual placements. Also, Phallus is a minor planet that orbits beyond Jupiter. A minor, do you mean Pluto? Because the planets beyond Jupiter are the ones we know of: Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But then we have the Kuiper Belt, where a lot of other so-called minor planets are, asteroids are. But that should have come up in my system if it was. Maybe it's very small. Maybe it's new. If it's new, it wouldn't be in Prometheus either. But sorry, I can't find that because Prometheus does not have that here in the system. All right. So Phallus was a centaur who accidentally caused his own demise. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, if anyone could share that in the chat, that would be really cool. Must be new. Is it new? So Gifrap says, so was my son born during a dark moon? How does that affect his nodes? He is a very quiet man, hard worker. Well, to be honest, I don't even know what a dark moon is. I don't know what a blue moon is. I don't know what a harvest moon is. I mean, I kind of do, but I just don't follow. There's different kinds of moons. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at your son's chart. So 1229, 89. Let's do a little bit of an analysis here. Since you did provide all the details. So the 29th, 1989, 1108. In Saint Point, Wisconsin. Saint Point? Saint Point. It's not coming up. So, Saint Point. We could go into, we could do the whole Wikipedia thing, get the lat long, but that is going to take a very long time. So, let's go with this place, stats, because it's in Wisconsin, and honestly, the chart's not going to change that much with true sidereal. I mean, Wisconsin's kind of a big state, but let's analyze this, and while we do, could just get it. Let's see where this is. Let's get close at least. Stevens Point. Ah, it was abbreviated. Stevens, not Saint. So ST was short for Stevens. Okay. There it is. All right, so hopefully I have that right. 20th of December, 1989, 11:08 a.m. in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All right, so what are we looking at here? What's the... It's a very quiet man and a hard worker. Well, the hard working is certainly, I think, coming from this up here. I mean, he's got a lot of 10th house activities. So 10th house is a lot of the achievement, the achiever, the productive, the accomplished. You know, as with Sagittarius, they're quite inspirational as well. Really wanting to, you know, gaining energy really from achieving and accomplishing in life, whether it's through his career or whatever it might be. The more reserved energy is probably what you're noticing him in his more private life. To be honest, I wouldn't say he's probably like that. I would say he's probably not, you know, quiet in the non-private or non-personal life. I'm not saying he's necessarily, super out there, but I think that's probably what you're picking up on, gift wrapped, his more private self, because of this kind of more 11th house kind of energy here, and maybe some of that Capricorn energy. Actually, it might be his Pisces rising, maybe is where you're seeing the quiet energy. Sun conjunct Neptune, Mars in Scorpio, also a bit private. But I will say about him being quiet, because his rising is Pisces, life is definitely helping him become more internal and more solitary and more Piscean, basically. So that will likely increase through time, him becoming more soul-guided, more soul-connected, more internal. Life's certainly helping him and assisting him in doing that. But maybe the way he expresses himself, maybe more reserved because he's got Saturn conjunct the Sun. That usually puts a little bit more reservation on the self-expression. The Venus in Capricorn, the North Node in Capricorn can add to that as well. But still very visionary. I still think very open-minded. The Neptune is like he's a Pisces in many ways. Sun conjunct Neptune is like he's a Pisces and an Aquarius because of the Uranus as well. And he's very much keen on deeper values and what's really more deeply meaningful to him in life with Mars in Scorpio. All right, just a little analysis there for fun. Skylar Zahira, first time catching you live. Great for you to join. Thank you so much. Chris. Oh, Chris. Yes, great to see you. A client of mine. Great for you to be here, Chris. Blessings. And yes, we all need to be mindful of our own needs and health. Absolutely. Ofa. Hello, Athen and everyone. Great to see you. Thank you. So Joanna, Mind Mastery says that this new moon if this new moon could be considered as the beginning of the new year, is there any connection between how this new moon shows up and how our next year will be? Well, I will say that we will always have a new moon in Sagittarius following the winter solstice, just because the winter solstice is when the sun is in Sagittarius, and so that is where the new moons are after the solstice. But in terms of, that's a really good point, very interesting point, that you can analyze the actual new moon energy to see what this year will be about. And in this case, we'd be looking more at the aspects. So not so much the fact that it's Sagittarius, that's always going to be the case, but in the context of the aspects. So this new moon, if we wanted to go by this analysis, and I'll go ahead and I'll create the new moon here in the chart. We go next new moon. Okay, I'll set this to Aries so it's easy to see. Okay, so here's the chart for the new moon. So typically we would have a lot of aspects, configurations to the new moon. But in this case, it's very quiet. It's basically just a sextile up to Saturn in Aquarius. And you can see no major conjunctions, no major oppositions, no squares. We could, of course, analyze the chart itself, though. So from this case, it looks like it could be just a steady year, constructive year, because Saturn sextiling means some steady growth, steady development, particularly in the areas of tech and innovation with Saturn and Aquarius coming into this new year. Venus entering Aquarius, a lot of, establishments, abundance, opportunity to be had with technology and innovation, things like this. Relationships being a little bit more unconventional this year, a good year for getting outside of our comfort zone when it comes to relationships with Venus and Aquarius. All in all, we could say it's because we'll be valuing more of that innovative, different and unorthodox energy, which could be quite strong for the year with this, with Saturn and Venus and Aquarius, and also the fact that Venus is somewhat still squaring up to Uranus right now, so that adds to that sort of energy. Mars in Cancer, when it comes to, so basically everything we're saying about self-care and self-nurturance would extend to the whole year if we look at it that way as well. And so a good time to, again, prioritize home life, personal life, health, the limitations of our bodies, being more caring and nurturing for ourselves and others as well, but very reflective. And if this is a symbol for the rest of the year, for the whole year, then the more assertive energy is actually being more internalized. So maybe some repression, maybe not as much forward movements when it comes to our goals, our needs, our drives. Of course, I'm expecting a lot of this to move forward once Mars actually goes direct. But if this was the sort of return of the year, because you would sometimes see this as like a return chart, which is like the chart for the whole year. If we were to look at this as the chart for the whole year, then relative to other years, we could expect a little bit more of that internalized energy when it comes to the fiery side of things. Okay, Mercury in Ophiuchus gives us that deeper mind and deeper communications. That's certainly there and certainly available. Maybe to challenge ourselves with some of this stuff, because Mercury is in a T-square slightly at the moment with Saturn and Jupiter. So good to work on things mentally, constructively, but at taking time. Good to work on communications through time. But all in all, I think figuring things out from a healing standpoint, from a deeper standpoint, from a research standpoint, really good. And again, maybe communicating in this deeper way as well. So very interesting. We don't normally do this in astrology. We would maybe, look at it from maybe the solstice as the mark of the solar year. But like I said, I do like the new moon being the marker for the new beginning of the year. So why not? And let's see. I don't think anyone's probably analyzed the year this way before, the new moon after the solstice, but let's see. Maybe we've got some things accurate here. But either way, if it was on the solstice was just recently, so a lot of what I just said there would still apply outside of maybe the Venus going into Aquarius thing. So actually, what I just analyzed would be very similar to a solstice reading anyways. So Lindsay says, found it according to Oxford Dictionary. Pholus is well outside the main asteroid belt. It is an asteroid, moves from near the orbit of Saturn out to beyond the orbit of Neptune. Okay, so it's an asteroid within the solar system. Interesting. Okay, so maybe it's very small. So if that ever gets added to Prometheus, or if anyone knows the position, I guess we could, at a future date, always pull up something like Stellarium and see where it's at. But maybe for a future podcast or future live stream, I mean. Okay, have bliss. I love that you're looking at our charts and not some fictions from TV. Yeah, well, I'm always happy to look at anything that would apply to us all collectively, but I wanted to do a little bit something special there for gift wrap. All right, Holly, I really enjoyed reading my true sidereal 15-page chart report, Athen. It was very helpful in understanding my true natal chart. Very happy to hear that, Holly. A lot of work was put into that report, and I'm always very happy to hear when it's really confirming. Hopefully it feels more confirming, gives you more of a sense of conviction with who you are as a person. So Erica has some information on Pholus. Represents tower moments, critical turning points, things, situations fall apart and piecing themselves together again. Interpersonal crises. Well, I will say that is definitely very consistent with asteroids. So asteroids in astrology are without a doubt always about transformation. I actually consider Pluto an asteroid. I know we all would say that Pluto's a planet, and we would call it a planet in astrology too, but the reason I call it an asteroid is because it has the characteristics of an asteroid. It is round because it's been in the solar system for so long under the influence of the sun's gravity, but it obviously was not created at the same time as the other planets. So from what we understand in astronomy, the sun, when the sun was born, with all the nebula cloud and all the dust and particles, from that shaped the planets. And so the planets are created basically at the same time as the sun. And all this extra stuff, you know, kind of beyond Pluto and Pluto and beyond the sort of Kuiper belts, all that rocky kind of stuff. And then after the planets form, you know, these asteroids, these minor bodies do get trapped inside the orbit, like we see with Phallus and, you know, what I believe was Pluto. And the reason is if you look at Pluto, it's got a very tilted orbit, very characteristic of an asteroid, a very elliptical, highly elliptical orbit, also very characteristic of an asteroid, and a very rocky and everything else too. So the reason I separate it as a planet is because we need to understand that Pluto is transformative, that all asteroids, including Pluto, Chiron, and Phallus in this case, are all about transformative energy. It's very important to make that distinction, whereas planets themselves represent more of the self, the embodiment of the self. And the other reason Pluto's kind of the odd person out here is because the planets actually go in polarities, and we can see the patterns. So you have the sun-moon polarity. So with all the polarities, you have a yin and you have a yang. So the moon's the yin, the sun's the yang. They're both equal in the sky, equal size in the sky, equally important in the astrological chart. Then you have Venus and Mars, which are the yin and yang of the interpersonal relationships deeper into the psyche, and Mercury operates as a sort of gatekeeper to that. And so in order to get into the interpersonal relational stuff that Venus and Mars represent, we have to pass through Mercury. We have to develop Mercury. Mercury's development is communication. We've heard the age-old adage that in order to have good relationships, we have to have good communication. So Mercury really helps us do that. Then we have the asteroid belts, with the largest body there being Ceres, which acts as a gatekeeper between the next planetary polarities, which is Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn being how we manifest our reality. Jupiter is believe it and it comes true. Saturn is work hard and it becomes true. And those work in pairs. Jupiter's the yang, Saturn's the yin. Then we have Chiron in between those, and then the next set of polarities, which is Uranus and Neptune. These are the unconscious because they're unseen with the naked eye, and they represent more of how to connect to our true self. So Uranus is listen to your excitement, and Neptune is listen to your soul. And both of these are equally important for, you know, connecting with our true self. And then you have Pluto, the last gatekeeper that we know of so far, which is the final transformation before we likely start the whole process over again. So, High Mind Tornado, with your, and we will be concluding here pretty shortly. Just going to run through a few more questions here. Time kind of flew today, and I'm going to go get some rest here. But High Mind Tornado says, with your configuration, how quote-unquote right are our natal nakshatra placements that we've had from other sidereal charts? I don't recommend changing the nakshatras. The nakshatras are completely accurate and completely fine the way that they are. They are already using the actual stars. They need to be used with the Vedic system. So if you want to use nakshatras with this system, I would recommend not changing the nakshatras. You still read the nakshatras as is, but you would then just have two charts to use in this case. But changing the nakshatras I found does not work because the nakshatras are already referencing true sidereal. They're already referencing actual stars, so there's no need to change them. They're already very accurate for how they are. We're just using the actual size of the constellations for mainly the signs, just the signs. Iris, hi everyone. Would you say that retrograde planets in a personal chart could be a sign of being more introspective? Yes, more introspective for that particular planet's energy. For example, Mercury retrograde, more introspective with thoughts, communications, things like this. These things also being kind of more automatic in the outer world, more unconscious in the outer world. But yeah, like Margaret says, some astrologers do use true sidereal nakshatras, and so some have changed it. So if you do want to explore that, that's definitely out there. I'm Feeling Lucky says, hey Athen, I transcribe each of your Sunday videos through Swell AI. I then take the transcripts along with my Masculine Zodiac report, and I use Claude AI to create a personalized weekly report. That's very cool. That's very cool. If you could send one over, I'd really love to look at it. Here's my email, athen@masteringthezodiac.com. You can shoot one over if you want. shoot one over. I'd be very curious what that sounds like, because I am looking to integrate more technology into what I do. Yeah, high mind tornado, all ready to go from tropical, then sidereal, now this. It's a lot. It is a lot. Just go with whatever's resonating with you at the moment. They're all accurate from their own perspectives, in my opinion. And when the time's right, or if the time ever comes up, true sidereal is here and available. But remember that they're all different perspectives of the self. And the more ways we can look at the self, the better, I believe. All right, so thank you, everyone. We'll conclude it here. So everyone, have a fantastic week. Thank you again so much for all of your support. Have a great one, and I'll see you all next week for the next live stream. Take care. Bye-bye.